Hello everyone. We're gonna call, I guess today will be MPC Sunday. So recently I was talking with Frank from Twisted MacGyver's Trains because he had posted a video or a short of a set he had acquired here recently, and I believe that set is called the Lakeshore Limited. It was the Alco Amtrak set from 77 or 78, I can't remember. Well, anyway, we started kind of talking about MPC and stuff like that, and I said, hey, I still have my original train set that I got. So he said, you should share that, so here we go. So I got this for Christmas in 1981. This is the Lionel Cross Country Express. And I have kept it all these years because it meant so much to me. It gets pulled out every now and again, and I'll open the box here, and we can even take the engine out, and I'll show you how it still runs. And because if you haven't gathered by now, I'm kind of OCD, so I tend to take care of things and hold on to it, or a hoarder, whatever you want to say. But anywho, pretty cool. I do like MPC stuff. Like I said, this is what got me started in model railroading. And I obviously like this because, well, I've held on to it for this many years. But since we're out here and we're talking about MPC, I thought I'd show you something kind of cool. This happened last weekend. So I get a text from my daughter. And she was over with one of her friends, helping her friend's mentor from high school or whatever. I guess nowadays kids have mentors. Move. And as they were cleaning out the house, the lady had mentioned, hey, I have this old train set from when I was a kid, my brother or something like that. I'm tired of taking it with me every time I move. She was moving back to New York. Do you know anybody that likes trains? And my daughter obviously perked up and said, yeah, my dad. So it was this. The Golden State Arrow. Apparently this was the top set in 1974. But this thing actually came with a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I got bags and boxes down here. I mean, that's a little freight platform down there. That's a bag of extra track and switches and stuff like that. And then here's a couple other things that came with it that I thought were kind of neat. We got a Lionel catalog from 75 and 77. So this one isn't in quite the shape that the Cross Country Express is, but still, this is pretty cool. I know we've all seen videos of the hobby is dying and this, that, and the other friggin' thing, but you know what? Look at all the stuff that came with this set. I mean, you had 2 remote switches with this thing. If our starters, and look, you got a remote uncoupling track and everything there. Plenty of cars. If our starter sets these days actually had stuff like this, we might actually be gaining ground rather than losing it, if you know what I mean. And I thought this was kind of funny. I guess kids are getting dumber these days because you only had to be 6 years old to play with this electrical product. But anyway, I think that's cool. But give me a minute here. Let me try to get the top off. Kind of hard when you're one-handed here. I don't want to mess up the box. Hold on, I gotta put you down for a sec. So this set's a little more complete than mine is. It's got everything. The caboose is a little hammered there, but that's fine. I've got a bunch of MPC cabooses I can do a body swap with. I didn't even know they made that little N5C in a Santa Fe, so that was pretty damn cool. Locomotive. Most of the stuff's actually in really nice shape. And it's got all the original paperwork. You got your instructions. I mean, just this came with everything. Everything. I've got the original receipt for it. It came out of New York, some small town in New York, I guess. So it's traveled across the country multiple times, but here's your little build dates down there. 2 of 72, 1 of 73. I thought this RPO car was really cool. But, I mean, just what a neat set, you know? I wish Lionel still made stuff like this. You know, obviously both these sets have the little GP20 and everything, but look at this one's got real metal handrails and, you know, nicer locomotive than the TP and W over here, but yeah, this set's got everything. Transformer, its original track, I got the original switches for it. I mean, just everything. So, I have tested the locomotive, it works, but it obviously needs a little bit of maintenance. But one of these nights here, we will definitely do an MPC running session. I actually have quite a few complete sets from the MPC era. And they're all still run. You know, it's amazing to me. But let's go back over here. There's a teaser for Brian at Knack Shack there. When I get this car done, I will do a video on it, I promise. 57 Corvette. But here is the Cross Country Express. Take a look at the shape of all this stuff. I obviously don't have the track anymore. I did save the transformer. Those are your instructions and everything. And then the crane that came with it, I'm pretty sure that's actually up on the layout right now, because I always kind of have that out. Locomotive's not perfect. I'll try to grab him out. We'll go put him on the test track so you can see him go up and down. But, you know, this thing has survived with basic maintenance. You know, just lube and stuff like that. Cleaning of the armature and stuff like that. I mean, basic electrical stuff, which obviously I have no idea about. But, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But, yeah, I always liked this set. This was definitely the one I wanted when I was younger. And somewhere I have the original catalog for this year as well. A lot of good stuff came out in '81. And I have the premium set from this year. I have because my dad had bought it. Keep in mind, this is before Williams had started making brass locomotives and stuff. So I got this for, like I said, Christmas, and he treated himself to the Chicago and Alton. I have that train, and it runs absolutely beautifully. So we will include that on the MPC running session. But yeah, pretty darn cool. Let's get Mr. GP20 out of here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Look at that. Oh. I really like MPC stuff, just for the nostalgia, basically. This I always thought was one of the prettiest paint schemes ever. And believe it or not, I don't know if Toledo, Peoria, and Western actually use GP20s, but I know at one point they did use this paint scheme. And, you know, when you're let's see, 1881, how old was I? 6. When you're a 6-year-old kid, you know, what's the thing that I've heard other guys in the hobby talk about it? Color. In case you didn't know, I'm more of a diesel guy than I am a steam guy. And that stems from when I was a kid, and it's because of the colors. You know? It just was a little more interesting. So, let me get this Southern Pacific car out of the way here. And from what I remember, this thing runs flawlessly, so. Yeah, you got no flickering, no sparks. I've always been pretty good at taking care of this stuff, hence why it all still works. But this one does come out every now and again. Mainly, this was the one I always brought out for, like, when my daughter was young. This is the one we'd put out for Christmas, basically, when we do the stuff around the Christmas tree and all that, because it just, I don't know, just reminds me of being a kid, you know. Obviously, Lionel knew what they were doing, because here it is many, many, many years later, and I am still buying their products. Well, similar products, you know what I mean. But, yeah. Good set, decent quality. These were all made in America. And it just goes to show, with just a little bit of maintenance, these things will last forever. That's why I really want to get back into post-war. I've been talking with a few people about that. I like all my scale stuff, but sometimes when you put something on the track and like this, and you hear that mechanical solenoid E unit start buzzing and you can smell ozone, it just takes you right back to being a little kid when you didn't have a care in the world, you know, not a care in the world. But anyway, I thought you might enjoy this little trip down my memory lane, and I'll get some more MPC stuff up here in the near future, just because, you know, a lot of times, like I said before, I forget I have this stuff. But, and you can see he's not perfect. We got little smudges, but considering how old it is, and, you know, when I was young, this thing was used. I mean, this was on, when my father and I had a layout, this thing was on the layout for at least 10 years. Constant, you know. It was always on a siding or something. Always got ran. Always got ran. Less and less as we started buying our scale equipment, but still, you know, you just can't beat that paint scheme, you know. And I always liked the GP20. You know, remember that was EMD's first foray into turbocharging. So, very cool. Very cool. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.